Straw Hut Media.
Oh my God.
Oh, sorry.
You should see my vagina.
From Straw Hut Media, this is Brandi Glanville Unfiltered. Oh, shit! Shit!
Oh my gosh, I have to tell you.
What?
My friend, Dr. Marashi,
Yeah.
is the Vagina Whisperer.
I was just farting out of my mouth, and now you want to just
It
like
was a
have
queef?
that. You know?
A queef?
Okay, do we want to do that again, or is this?
No.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay, fine. I always have to be the butt of every joke, no pun intended.
Well, we have Dr. Marashi on.
Smoker
Oh my
stop.
God, he does have a smoker's
Just kidding,
cough.
don't smoke.
It's a vapor cough. It's
Yeah.
not good.
Dr. Marashi is hot.
Yeah, he's hot and he's all about the vag. Like, honestly, I talked to him for hours in the Hamptons and I used his vibrators line and his, there's this stimulant for your clitoris that you put on this little gel, like, and it makes it so hard.
I love that. Ladywood.
Yeah, Ladywood.
That
It's
is
like,
my
it's, I mean,
favorite.
I feel like he's really doing us all a
He's
service.
the Vagina Whisperer. Like, oh my God, the amount of vaginas he has to whisper into. And I'm so excited that he's coming on.
I know.
It's-
I mean, I could talk about vagina all day. Good for you. All right. Well,
my ex-husband used to say that.
Oh no.
Okay,
You can't
sorry.
use it twice.
Oh, okay. They've already heard it. Bye.
Okay, let's bring Dr. Marashi on. Here we go. Hey, Dr. Marashi, better known as the Vagina Whisperer. Welcome to Brandi Glanville Unfiltered. I'm here with my co-host, James. Welcome,
Hello.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Brandi. Hi, James.
Hello.
Are you in your medical office right now?
I know I'm actually in between surgeries, so I just got back to my home office.
Yeah, you travel a lot for your surgeries. I mean, making everything beautiful and tight and right.
I do. I like that.
So tell us a little bit about how how did the vagina, like why? What brought you to the vagina?
Why not? So, I feel like, vaginas and, women's right to pleasure have been dismissed for a very, very long time, and people haven't been paying attention to them, or better say, intentionally, they've been trying to eliminate it from anatomy books. Anatomy of clitoris, we didn't have it in our anatomy books in medical school. Woman's pleasure, about learning about the nerves that are traveling with the clitoris, they never talked about it. They basically been looking at women as like,
A baby maker, yeah.
Yeah, carry kids, baby maker, as you said, and also, being a housewife. But fortunately, things are changing right now, and there's more talk about it. So I realized there isn't too much talk about pleasure, and that's how I started trying to improve that and learn more about anatomy and physiology of this.
Yeah, no, I met him in the Hamptons and he gave us his pleasure kit. So I'm going to show everyone.
Have you used it?
Yes, of course. And it's amazing. I mean, honestly, like I can't turn this around. Help. So I use the lube. Is it just lube?
This is the enchantment gel.
Yes, I love that. That's some great stuff, guys.
It is really good. No, so that's actually not a lube. It's an orgasm gel. So it increases blood supply to the clitoris.
Yes, it does.
It makes the sensations a lot stronger. And there are so many of these out there, but we did research to find out what formulation would work, the best for our patients initially. And then we tried it on our own and we started doing ultrasound on the clitoris, using different formulas to see which one gives the most amount of, erection to the clitoris, because clitorises have erection too.
They absolutely do. I mean, I think that it's been, a lot of people don't want to talk about it. It's embarrassing. Guys can talk about like what, I did this and, I jerked off, blah, blah, blah. But Girl, no, it's for women.
I think it's changing, though. I mean,
well, it is now.
I'm still reeling at the fact that women's clitorises get hard. So Karen Walker on Will and Grace, she used to say, "You're giving me ladywood."
Ladywood.
She was right. She was trying to tell us something.
I know, and like you don't know if that's normal because you don't like if you're not comfortable talking about it. But I feel like with you. I mean, the second I met Dr. Marashi, I was like, oh, I was intrigued. I was like all over him, not in a weird way. But how did you come up with this formula? You just kept trying and trying and trying?
So, of course, we know in medicine, there are, agents that increase blood flow. Because, look, to go back, this is the anatomy of clitoris.
Yes.
What we learned and we always thought is clitoris is only just this little tip. So, when you look from outside, people say, oh, this is the clitoris. This is just a glance of the clitoris. It's like showing the tip of the penis and say, this is the penis, There's an entire shaft and everything else that goes underneath the skin, which you don't really see it. So we wanted to start looking at the clitoris, look at the physiology and anatomy of it, because as you know, I do a lot of work on victims of female genital mutilation. And in these people, they cut the clitoris, but they only cut the tip. They call the glance of the clitoris. So we needed to figure out how deep this is going. So as a gynecologist, I mean, we have ultrasound in the office.
Right.
So we started doing sonograms to see how deep the clitoris goes and what's left from, these people who are, I call them not victims, survivors of female genital mutilation.
Absolutely.
And we try to help them expose what's left there. Slowly worked more on what we created. Me and Dr. Lovey, who is my partner, she is actually, she's a Harvard and Yale grad medical engineer and chemist. And then she went to medical school and radiology. Wow. So we started looking at clitoris more and more with ultrasound and see what happens to it in different stages. As you know, I do a lot of labioplasties.
Right. We were talking about that. He's very fancy. He like flies all over the place. He's like the Vagina Whisperer. And he'll make it beautiful and right and tight. But have you found that are all clitorises the same, or are they different sizes and shapes?
So no, of course, just like penises, it's just it differs depending on our sizes, our body, and then the most important part of it is the engorgement of it, because you see it, let's say like this, and then you got to see the blood supply coming to it, and getting engorged. And like the penis is very easy. You look at it, you go like, oh, Viagra really worked. It got hard. It's longer. You can even measure it. But with the clitoris, you cannot do that. I mean, you could not do that before. But now we do the ultrasound. We call it clitogram, which I use before all the surgeries too, even for labioplasties. We do the clitogram and we figure out which formulation. And that's how we came up with the formula, which formulation works. So we went through the market, all of these things that are out there. Most of them have like mint or menthol to give you like a little cooling. I hate that.
Yes, I cannot stand that. I do not like this non-irritating. You don't even know it's there, but then all of a sudden you're a little bit more engorged and it's like the blood is rushing, and like sometimes my clit changes a little color.
Oh wow! Yeah. Are you down there with a mirror?
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, I want to see.
Yeah.
We should do a clitogram, mind you. Honestly, next time I'm in LA, we can look with the sonogram and I show you the before and after.
Yeah, I would love that. Honestly,
you have to post it.
I will.
Just kidding.
But honestly, I think it's an important message for a lot of people.
It's really
important. Don't even have orgasms and they don't talk about it.
Yeah, no, and women are starving for it. That's why, why should we have all the fun? It's like men hated women, or maybe they still do, and women are just getting more powerful. But like, why have you got to take everything away from them? This is like something, and when it's not shown or spoken about until recent years, I mean, of course they're going to be ashamed of it or not want to admit to getting a hard clit. Or, one of my clients, she says, women can't come from penetration. Like, it's just a fallacy. What do you think about that, actually? Can women come?
Yes. Of course they can come from penetration. You have to do it the right way. So this is the other thing we talk about all the time. You see, this is a vagina. You enter from the front, right? So what happens with the vagina is that everybody thinks it's just a flat tunnel. It's not a flat tunnel. Vagina has a downward angle. So if you look at this and you think like this is the vagina, right? The entrance is not like you just enter. It goes down, right? So if you look from the side, it goes down. Why does it go down? Because let me show you. When the penis enters, penis needs to stimulate the front wall of the vagina. So this is the vagina. Imagine this is the penis. When it enters, it stimulates the front wall. Why is the front wall so important? Because it carries over 12,000 nerves, and the clitoris is sitting right on top of the front wall. So you want this to be downwards, and you want to hit the front wall of the vagina where it has the clitoris.
So
Is
that's
that
why when
we put
women
the
say,
pillow? Is that why when sometimes you put the pillow?
Amazing. Yes, we did actually a paper. We did a paper. It's in Sexology magazine. What's the most satisfying position for women? And it was missionary with a pillow under the
Underneath,
buttocks.
oh my God. And women always say a guy with a curved penis, and they're like,
That's
oh,
what
it's
I'm
hitting me
saying.
in all the right angles. And I thought, oh, you're a liar. That's
No,
not
it's-
true.
it's true.
Yeah. Ah.
I
And
swear.
that's the reason, you know,
I'm gonna start
genetically,
bending
that's one of the... Most penises have a little bend too.
Like I've heard about that for years, and obviously like I've tried it, and that does help. But so when, like, do we tell the guy? Do we like, listen, you're not doing it right?
But no, Brandy, look, we normally do have this downward angle. Like everybody has it. They are born with it. But slowly as we age, you know, it becomes flat.
Oh,
Just like the face, we're losing, you know,
Whoa.
collagen here.
Yeah.
This used to be up, and then you start getting flat. And that's why people do vaginoplasty and they really enjoy it, because it brings the angle up. Or I created this procedure, Vagilangelo, you know, which it's just in the office. We put a couple of stitches, we bring the entrance of the vagina higher, and the angle gets fixed, you
I'm
know.
gonna do that. I mean, I a long time ago I did have vaginal rejuvenation, like in 2010, and it was the worst pain in my life. Honestly, it was worse than having children. But he would just did the inside. But it's been 13 years of dick for me, and I'm just wondering if maybe if like you have really large penises in you, does that make a difference? Does that like make it flat?
Listen, I mean, the vagina, it just goes like anything else. It goes through wear and tear. So and it doesn't become necessarily flat because of the penis. It becomes flat because we lose collagen. The same thing happens in our faces.
Can you put filler? Can you put like hyaluronic acid down there?
You can, you know, and we do it like in Dubai when I do the surgeries. A lot of patients who don't want to have full-on surgery because they don't want to not have sex for 4 to 6 weeks. They're like, oh, just do the filler. But it's not really worth it, because especially with the procedure I created, Vagilangelo, you can fix it same day office visit. And we also, at the same time, we inject the entire clitoris with PRP and exosomes. So it like literally brings it, is kind of like putting stem cells inside the clitoris. So people's feeling goes like 10 notches higher.
When are you going to be in LA? I want it. I mean, I don't like the 4 to 6 weeks right now is fine for me because I'm not with anyone at the moment. But is that the in-office procedure is 4 to 6 weeks, no sex?
In-office procedure, no sex for 4 weeks is enough. If you do a full-on vaginoplasty, I would say a good 6 weeks. You know,
Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off for now.
in-office is more than enough. You know.
Yeah, no. So, but do you have an office in Los Angeles or no?
I collaborate with a couple of offices. When I come to teach them, I do procedures on that day, but I don't have a permanent office in LA yet.
Oh,
I've
grr.
seen the products everywhere in LA at the moment. I see the billboards
Yeah.
for your products.
Yeah.
It just popped up. It's a good campaign. It's everywhere.
Thank you. You know, we have billboards all over LA, yes, and a lot of stores and companies in LA and doctor offices, they are reaching out to us, and they're like, oh, you know what, we want to carry this.
Yes, you should have it in every gynecologist office. Like literally, you know how they sell products at your dermatologist? Like not necessarily their products, but they sell an array of different things. Because I have 2 bottles of it, and I gave one to my girlfriend Kristen, and she's like, "Where can I buy this?" I'm like, "Just go online, just Google it." But it is a little magic serum.
It's really good, and you know what? You know what, Brandy? When orgasms are really important.
Yes, they relieve stress.
For men and women, you know, it helps you feel better about yourself. It helps you.
It's a
sleep
release.
better.
It's like, oh.
And it's not a shameful thing.
No. It's just, I think it's really important.
It does so many good things for you. You lose weight. It makes your fertility better. It's good for heart health. It's good for your brain. So I tell people just getting the endorphins, which are the internal morphines you get from an orgasm, are 100 times more than going to the gym for 1 hour.
That's why I did it like 100 times the other night, because I was trying to flush my body out. So I got my little...
Wait, orgasmed 100 times?
With them in my toy, because I thought
Where is the toy? I want to bring it out.
I'm getting... Because I've been sick, you know, I was in the Hamptons. I still am having that mouth weird issue. So they're like, oh, cleanse your body. So I figured I'll just have as many orgasms as I can. And I did like 100 times. But now I'm a little sore.
Yeah, but you got your workout in, which is the main thing. And you're the happiest, and you seem like you're in a really good mood.
Yeah. It is so important.
That's it. I'm taking it. Can
Honestly,
I use this on me?
Yeah. Well, honestly, my partner, if that's under me, like, and it's on his balls, it's like he enjoys it as well.
So that's a really good one you're holding. I have it here. This is called Spellbound. And what it does, this is exactly the same one you're holding. What it does, you get clitoral stimulation all over, meaning that you put this side inside and it stimulates the part of the clitoris that's sitting inside the vagina, and then you can flex the angle to the angle that works for you.
So in.
Yeah.
And then this is on your clit going.
And put this put this part of it right on your clitoris, on the glands of the clitoris. And what's very important is that this is not just suction, because a lot of people have suction toys, and that irritates you a lot.
Yeah.
This is an air pulse, which is, you know, very strong, very good. And you like literally get an orgasm from inside and outside at the same time.
Ooh.
Fun.
Now I'm going to have to sterilize it. But whatever.
By the way, anybody who's listening, is very important to wash the toys. And that's the reason, as a gynecologist, 70 to 80% of our office visits, the patients who are coming to us, coming because of some kind of vaginal discharge.
Bacterial vaginosis.
So, bacterial vaginosis.
Fucking A, I hate that shit.
That's why we did the toys, the tools in black. Because even if you have a little lint on it, you would know and you would wash it. Most people wash it, but then they forget to wash it again before use. So I'm like, let's make them in black. So
I have a sterilizer for my sex toys. Like Sex with Emily gave it to me. It literally, you put it in and it like this light comes on and it sterilizes everything.
Oh, that's good.
It's amazing. Yeah, because I am prone to bacterial vaginosis or whatever, and that is not fun. It's not a good smell.
I mean, it's a bacteria that lives in the vagina.
Yeah, I actually thought that it was a dirty dick that did that to me, so it's not.
I mean, listen, that could help as well. You're just throwing off the pH and you make it get worse. Yes.
Yeah.
Are you married? Is your wife just the happiest person in the world?
You know what? That's what do they call it? The chefs usually don't even eat.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, God.
You're too busy worrying that everyone else is happy.
No, not like that. But in reality is that, look, this is completely separate, because people ask different questions. Oh, the person you are with, are they okay with you, let's say, treating people, like treating vaginas all day? I'm like, oh, it's my job.
Yeah.
Oh, it would look like a hand to you at this stage. You've seen so many. It's just like whatever.
Yeah, it's very different. So that's just work. But our goal is to take the taboo away from this. And I'm so glad that you invited me, on the podcast, because more people like you, Brandi, need to talk about this and take the taboo away. There's no shame,
Exactly.
around women's orgasms. And, the reason we didn't know anatomy of clitoris for many years is that 1900, this was in our books before 1900. But in 1900, Freud comes and he says that any orgasms that come from the clitoris, and he didn't know, he said clitoris is this part, from the clitoris are immature orgasms. Every good orgasm and a mature orgasm is the one that comes from penis and penetration. And since then, they eliminated clitoris from all anatomy books.
That
all
is
textbooks.
insane because
And that is
just not true.
Very sad, yes.
Yeah.
He also thought everyone was in love with their parents.
That's true. Well,
that's true. Listen, but the power of, back then, the male dominance, even to this day, you feel that difference, but we are trying to take that orgasm gap away and try to close that orgasm gap.
yeah, it's not all about you guys. Girls need orgasms too.
I don't care what you girls do, really.
Wait, so is the clit underneath the labia? Is that why we don't see the whole thing?
It is deep, yes. So it's so when we do, if we do a clitogram once, I'm going to show you. So you see this part of it, just like the neck of a swan. So you see this part here, and then it dives down and it goes behind the skin and deeper and sits around the vagina.
So it's really big. It's kind of big. It's like a mouth guard for your vagina, but not really.
That, you called it mouth guard, yeah.
That second mouth. Yeah.
My lips, it's a lip guard.
It's sitting like this right on top of the vagina. And that's why the front wall of the
Wow.
vagina, it's super sensitive.
That's why, right when a man penetrates me in the very beginning, that's when I have the most pleasure. Like the beginning part, just like that entry.
How much of it correlates to what's going on in your mind as well? Do you find that
100%. So that's the difference. So for men, that's what we say. That's what I say. 90% of the orgasm is physical.
Mm-hmm.
For a woman, 90% of it is in the brain.
Yeah.
And of course, it's very important, your connection and all of those. And that's why, as the connection fades away, people who are together, let's say for like 20 years, they're like, oh, sex is not the same way. So
Well, fix it. I think fix what's wrong. Like, let's have why don't we go, we'll go to city
Or just
to city.
use these toys and fuck men. You've got
that's
your
what I'm
own toy
saying.
now. You're going to have the best time.
But if you involve them in it, and so they think it's
Yeah.
a little more freaky,
No, I
but
like
it's
that.
not. But I think that people, it gets stale, and then it's harder to come without imagining it's someone else or doing. But there's nothing wrong with that either. I think fantasy is a really huge part and a great thing for getting off and. I don't know what I'm saying.
But it makes sense because your clit is getting engorged and 90% of it is in the brain. Does that have the correlation then? So then you're able to have the blood
just
rush
talking
there.
about it, I'm very
because
turned
your
on.
mind is a pharmaceutical company up right here. So if you're able to release the right chemicals, it's going down to your clit gets engorged, and then anyone's can get you
and
off.
then you also have to, as a woman, you have to check your hormones. Even men at 35, you need to start checking your hormones to make sure there's a balance there. And a lot of women don't know that, but you really have to take care of yourself in that way.
Right, you have to. But to answer your question, the thing is that, yes, a lot of it, 90% is really in the mind. Mind is what opens the door, but it doesn't do the job for you. And that's the thing. You have to get the clitoris itself engorged and stimulated. And that's why a lot of these people, after, you get like a flat vagina, and you don't have that angle anymore, they tell me, well, I have sex, but I don't enjoy it as much. So I don't have as much sex. I would just sleep with him on the night of his birthday, or
That's so sad.
I would do it like
break
at
up.
certain occasions, because she's not enjoying it. It's like you going to a restaurant and the food is crappy and you don't want to go back. So when woman doesn't enjoy it, she doesn't want to have sex again.
Well, and also the man knows when you're not enjoying it, like if you're like faking it, or I feel like that's, I mean, I've done it, let's be clear, but I think that, you know, your partner knows when you're not into it.
Sometimes they know, sometimes they don't. But I mean, listen, you are lying to yourself, and you can fix this. And that's what I tell people.
Yes, it can
That's
be
why
fixed,
we
you
make
guys.
clitoris, we make it more sensitive, whether it's by injections or by trying to use other tools. As you said, these are not to replace your partner. It's like a tool. Your partner can use it in the bedroom. Maybe his angle of the penis doesn't get to there, but you can use this and get to the place you want to get. The other hack to fix the angle, you know, instead of doing the surgery, which I fix it, or even putting the pillow, you can have a butt plug.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's why that works.
We call them angle rectifiers, and it's the one that we designed. You know, it goes right in the place that needs to go to, because we had the right measurements.
So then it tilts your vaginal wall up.
Exactly.
I mean down.
It
So
tilts.
then you can't have any ass play because it's plugged.
Oh well, I mean, this is the ass play. I mean, since you called it that.
I mean,
This is actually mind-blowing, because I always could never understand why women wanted anal sometimes. Like when they would talk about it, I'm like, you don't have a prostate where you'd be able to be stimulated.
No,
it's because it's correcting the wall of their vagina, and then they can go around the front and grab it. Oh my God, I can't believe this. You are so smart. No, because I really couldn't get it. And I'm like, what the hell are people doing putting things up their bumps when they're girls? It just doesn't make any sense.
Oh my God. Everything's an erogenous zone. Everything.
Whatever. I thought that sounded like a lie until I had the proof now that actually makes sense. Okay.
I haven't done, like, I mean, I've
it.
had things masked, but like I haven't used this butt plug yet. I didn't realize. I wonder if it's not flat, will it harm if you still put it in? Maybe it still, you know, goes down, or no?
So no, it doesn't. It doesn't harm. Listen, even if the angle is not flat, you can give extra angle. And
Does that give you a little more like tightness as well?
Yeah, increase the pressure.
Wow.
Definitely.
All right. This is making me want to have sex really bad.
We're not even doing the next guest because we're so excited
And my
about
parents are
these
coming, so
vibrators.
that's a big
We have the
turnoff.
mini travel vibrator. We have the tropical
Shut the windows. Let's have
orgasm gel.
energy.
Literal vibrator. I mean, this is great. The mini travel.
Get your hands off my
Shut
stuff.
up. That's it. I'm taking it for my vagina.
Like, this stuff really works, girls. And I think if you're a man listening, there's a lot of gay men out there like you that need to know this. Like,
Yes.
Just to understand us.
We all need to be rooting for women to have more orgasms and be okay with it and be the gay men that they really are and enjoy sex and be open with sex. And,
it's true. And
you
like,
know,
not like
I always say Brandy's a gay man because she's woke about the sexual liberation of women. And that's what everybody needs to be, which is why Dr. Marashi. God.
Yes, he's the best. He's the best in the world.
Too bad he's not single for you. I would have
my
said,
God,
oh, okay,
stop.
sorry.
No, he's a very handsome man. We hung out in the Hamptons, but no, we literally just talked about our clits, my clit. So I mean, do your partners ever get like jealous that you're doing that? I guess you said that they do get a little weirded.
I mean, it happened before, yeah. I mean, in the beginning, but slowly, I mean, people know what I'm doing. That's my job.
Yeah, but what made you so interested in the vagina and the clitoris?
So, you know, I did my medical school back in Iran, and I saw so much inequity between men and women, you know, and what a double standard. Like, I could have done whatever I wanted to do. My sister had to be home at like 5 p.m. I could date whoever I want to date. She couldn't. She had to wear whatever, the scarf, all of those. But, you know, I've been in operating room doing surgeries with my father since I was 4 or 5 years old.
Oh, wow. So your dad is a surgeon as well.
He's a surgeon. He's an orthopedic surgeon. And during the war, we did a lot of cases together, and I slowly learned more and more as following him. So I went to medical school when I was 15, Brandi, and I was doing surgeries then.
At 15, you were doing surgeries?
I was doing surgeries with my dad when I was like 11 even, but I was doing surgeries But the reason for the vaginas, as you said, in Iran and a lot of countries around there, when you get married, you need to be a virgin. At least, I mean, back then you had.
I know. Yes. Yep.
Back then you had to be a virgin, and if you didn't bleed in some villages, you might have gotten killed even. So I started getting requests from my friends because they knew that, I have access to an operating room. Can you do hymenoplasties?
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. So is it really true that there's like a pop the cherry? Is your hymen really there and then it gets popped?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't pop.
But
it's not like, the popping that people say. But yeah, I mean, it stretches and it tears in parts. And of course, you have some bleeding.
Blood.
Sometimes you may not have the bleeding, but most of the time you see some kind of bleeding. And I had to, kind of repair and bring everything back together. So that's when I started getting familiar with that. And of course,
you could actually help women and replace their hymen so they didn't get killed on their wedding night.
And, believe it or not, to this day, I get patients who come to me, and this is United States, but they request that because they're, you know what, I don't want to name the countries, but I'm from like this country and I'm getting married to my cousin who I'm kind of importing him from back home, and he cannot know that I'm not a virgin. So
I can't believe that's
still amazing.
Exists.
I know
it's
horrible, but at 15 he was saving women's lives.
Well, and the fact that you had the know, growing up there and then looking at your sister and actually stopping to think after you would have been taught a certain way growing up your whole life,
right?
And then the fact that some light bulb went off in your mind,
and
hey, why is my sister?
Yeah,
that is so unique and incredible. That's really,
I dated an Iranian man, and he was very this is your role, this is and very strict, and I feel like that's part of your culture. So for you to go outside of the box to get back inside of our boxes sorry,
that's why he was rewarded with all the vaginas in the world, because he was willing to help them, and now he has everyone's vagina.
He does. He said you're a very busy man. It's like to track him down, we're very lucky. He's in between surgeries. Dr. Marashi, thank you for being here. I love your products, and I will say, girls, listen, you're married, you're not dead. Go get these products and whoop it up.
Yes, definitely enjoy them. And you know what? I'm actually, Brandi just thought of this. For your listeners, we create a code. I'm gonna tell our back office to do just your name, Brandi. So
amazing.
They can use your name at checkout. It's getcere.com. So GETCERE, getcere.com. And they can just put code Brandi and get 15% off.
It's not amazing.
Active, but it's going to be active in the next 5 minutes. I'm going to have the girls do it.
He just does it.
Amazing.
That is amazing. You guys have to get this. I want to hear all about it on our happy hours.
We'll put it in the show notes as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Code Brandi.
Code Brandi.
Yay.
Yeah, I love that. I'm a code for this.
Team Brandi for vaginas. I love it. It's so on brand for her. Love it.
All right, babe. Babe.
She's coming on to you already. Okay, this is the time
I can't help it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Marashi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now do you have a better understanding of women and what we go through and what we need?
A little too much, actually.
Listen, I know everything about it.
I think it's amazing. And I think that story that he told about being in Iran and realizing that his sister didn't have the same liberties that he did, and wanting to do that. Plus, vaginal mutilation.
Oh my God, I know. And he's been doing surgery since he was 15. Come here.
He is a real...
I was getting a little turned on when he was showing all the parts.
So was I. I didn't want to say it, but if he ever decides to jump the fence, I am
listen, all I know is if you talk about sex, it's like when you watch porn, you get aroused. So talking about all of this is just making me want to have sex.
And it was smart, good conversation. I want to have sex with people's brain when they're like that.
And you're right when you said a lot of it's up here for women. I think there's a lot of pressure to come, and that and to let the guy know that he's pleasing you.
Yep.
And I think that women get in their heads and they can't relax and release.
Yes. And because they're shamed and told that they shouldn't be enjoying
Right,
it
that's what I'm
or that they're
saying.
not deserving of being able to enjoy it.
Right.
So buy the tools and get yourself off.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
And with a partner.
Yeah, and he's giving me a QR code for Brandi. For my listeners, you guys must try. If you only can afford to buy one situation, get the stimulant cream. It's so amazing, honestly.
And the link to his website is in the show notes.
Yes. All right.
Code
well,
Brandi.
Yes.
This
yes.
was fun. Let's do it again next week.
Oh my God.
What a great idea. I always have those.
Oh, bye.
Thanks for listening to Brandi Glanville Unfiltered. Download new episodes every week, and if you haven't already, subscribe. And be sure to leave us a rating and review. And while you're at it, check out some of the other great shows available on Straw Hut Media.